Dan, Iago, take one.
Hello, I'm Helen Machin-Smith, and we are Island Stage Left, a professional theatre company based right here in Friday Harbour. For 23 years, we've brought professional actors to the islands from all over the US to perform outdoors in our popular series Shakespeare Under the Stars and indoors in our more modern and intimate plays. Admission is always free, and we are supported almost entirely by individual donations. Daniel Mays and I are co-artistic directors, and the following monologues are performed by Dan. In this first monologue, Dan portrays Iago from Shakespeare's Othello, one of the greatest villains ever written. Iago has just been passed over for promotion by Othello, and here he shares with his audience his plot to discredit his rival Cassio and to usurp his position.
I hate the Moor, and 'tis thought abroad that twixt my sheets he's done my office. I know not if it be true, yet I for mere suspicion in that kind will do as if for surety. He holds me well. The better will my purpose work on him. Cassio's a proper man. Let me see now. To get his place and to plume up my will in double knavery. How? After some time, to abuse Othello's ear that Cassio's too familiar with his wife. The Moor is of a free, open, noble nature that thinks men honest that do but seem to be so, and will as tenderly be led by the nose as asses are. I have it. It is engendered. Hell and night must bring this monstrous birth to the world's light.
The Song of the Wandering Aengus is an Irish poem by William Butler Yeats. It is spoken by an old man remembering a vision he had long ago of a young and magical girl.
I went out to the hazel wood because a fire was in my head, and cut and peeled a hazel wand, and hooked a berry to a thread. And when white moths were on the wing and moth-like stars were flickering out, I dropped the berry in a stream and caught a little silver trout. When I had laid it on the floor, I stood to blow the fire aflame, but something rustled on the floor, and someone called me by my name. It had become a glimmering girl with apple blossoms in her hair, who called me by my name and ran and faded through the brightening air. Though I am old with wandering through hollow lands and hilly lands, I will find out where she has gone, and kiss her lips, and take her hands, and walk among long dappled grass, and pluck till time and times are done, the silver apples of the moon, the golden apples of the sun.
We return to Shakespeare, this time to Henry V. The character of the chorus speaks this monologue. Because Elizabethan theatres had no scenery or set changes to establish place and mood, Shakespeare uses language to take his audience on a journey of imagination. It is the night before the Battle of Agincourt. The French outnumber the English 6-1, and King Henry, affectionately known as Harry, wanders through the camp to boost the morale of his exhausted troops.
Now entertain conjecture of a time when creeping murmur and the pouring dark fills the wide vessel of the universe. From camp to camp, through the foul womb of night, the hum of either army stilly sounds, that the fixed sentinels almost receive the secret whispers of each other's watch. Fire answers fire, and through their paly flames each battle sees the other's umbered face. Steed threatens steed in high and boastful neighs, piercing the night's dull ear. And from the tents, the armourers accomplishing the nights with busy hammers closing rivets up, give dreadful note of preparation. The country cocks do crow, the clocks do toll, and the third hour of drowsy morning name. Proud of their number and secure in soul, the confident and over-lusty French do the low-rated English play at dice, and chide the cripple, tardy-gated knight, who like a foul and ugly witch doth limp so tediously away. The poor condemned English, like sacrifices, by their watchful fires sit patiently, and inly ruminate the morning's danger, and their gesture sad, investing lank, lean cheeks and war-worn coats, presenteth them unto the gazing moon, so many horrid ghosts. Oh, now, who will behold the royal captain of this ruined band? Walking from watch to watch, from tent to tent, let him cry praise and glory on his head. For forth he goes and visits all his host, bids them good morrow with a modest smile, and calls them brothers, friends, and countrymen. Upon his royal brow there is no note how dread an army hath enrounded him, nor doth he dedicate one jot of colour unto the weary and all-watchful night, but freshly looks, and overbears a taint with cheerful semblance and sweet majesty, that every wretch, pining and pale before beholding him, plucks comfort from his looks. A largesse universal like the sun his liberal eye doth give to every one, thawing cold fear, that mean and gentle all behold, as may unworthiness define. A little touch of Harry in the night.
This next piece is from another Shakespeare play, a famously dark and bloody story about how a couple's ambition leads to their downfall. It has the reputation of being cursed, which is why the title name is never uttered in a theatre. It is referred to as Mackers, or the Scottish play. Anything but its actual name. And if by some mischance the name is spoken, the speaker must turn around 3 times, spit on the floor, curse, leave the theatre, and then knock for permission to re-enter. Towards the end of the play, racked with guilt by multiple murders, Lady M commits suicide. Her husband has just been given the news, and he sums up his state of mind as he realizes all is lost.
Tomorrow and tomorrow and tomorrow creeps in this petty pace from day to day to the last syllable of recorded time. And all our yesterdays have lighted fools the way to dusty death. Out. Life's but a walking shadow, a poor player that struts and frets his hour upon the stage and then is heard no more. It is a tale told by an idiot, full of sound and fury, signifying nothing.
Next, Dan takes a poem, The Ballad of Tough Tom by Paul Gallico, and transforms it into a dramatic monologue. It needs no further introduction, except to say that it is spoken by a tough Philadelphia tomcat.
Hey. Yeah, that's right. Those are tufts of my fur you're looking at. So what about it? I mean, you don't see the other cat, do you? Anyway, what are a few hairs compared to an ear? Well, no, I didn't get the whole of his ear off, because by then he was already heading south, having had enough. But it was eminently satisfactory. Hey, my name's Tough Tom, and I'm king of the car park. When the sun shines and warms the hood of the cars for us, yeah, we like that. We lie on them. Sometimes we get chased because we leave footmarks on the hoods of the cars, but most of the time, nobody bothers. We have our own crowd that comes here to sun. But I say who doesn't see. Of course, I'm king of the car park. So one day, this stranger walks up and he says, hey, look, get this. He says, what's your name? And so I says, Tough Tom, and I'm king of the car park. What's yours? And he says, Tough Charlie, and I guess you ain't king of the car park anymore. I get it. I says, you looking for a little action. How'd you guess? Says Tough Charlie. Well, I'll measure him up in the meantime. He's a lot of cat. Yellow and white. Yellow is a color I ain't partial to. And although I wasn't looking for trouble that morning, well, like now, by being king of the car park, it was up to me to oblige. So I says, shall we dispense with the preliminaries? You see now, like the growling and the fluffing and the humping up, the exchange of insults. You waste of time when you know you're going to mix, right? Okay by me, says Tough Charlie, and he's up and on to me, leading with his right. Oh, boy, a sucker punch. Now, I guess I'm a little dopey, lying out in the warm sun on that warm hood, and maybe he's got a half a pound on me as well. So I'm on my back before I know it, and he just misses getting my eye out. Tough Charlie, he was all right. Well, I give my left on the end of his nose, see, and I try a rollover. Yeah, but he's too smart for that. Yeah, he goes to my eye again, only this time, I'm waiting for it. He don't get my eye, but I get his ear. Oh, brother, we're all over that car. We're down on the ground and underneath and back up on top again with the gang waiting to see who is king of the car park. Well, he gives me this raking kick with his back legs. Well, that's when I lost all that fur you see lying about. But I still got that ear, and it's starting to come away. Tough Tom and Tough Charlie and the Ballad of the Car Park. Yeah, they'll sing about that one on the tiles for many a night. So I guess that maybe Tough Charlie thinks it over. There was only one ear, he ain't gonna do so good with the broads anymore, you know what I'm saying? And he says, okay, let go, so I was wrong, you're still king of the car park. Yeah, so I had to laugh. And he's off with what's left of his ear. Yeah, so that's the story. So, now for a little cleanup. Hey, I'm still Tough Tom, king of the car park.
The Tempest was probably the last play that Shakespeare wrote alone. It is often seen as his farewell to the stage. In the final moments of the play, Prospero, the magician, drowns his books, renounces his sorcery, and leaves the mystic isle to live out the rest of his life back in the world he left behind some 12 years before. Much as Shakespeare himself did when he retired from the London stage to spend his final days at home in Stratford.
Our revels now are ended. These, our actors, as I foretold you, were all spirits, and are melted into air, into thin air. And like the baseless fabric of this vision, the cloud-capped towers, the gorgeous palaces, the solemn temples, the great globe itself, yea, all which it inherits shall dissolve, and like this insubstantial pageant faded, leave not a rack behind. We are such stuff as dreams are made on, and our little life is rounded with a sleep.
Thanks for watching, and thanks to the donors, volunteers, and supporting families that have made SJCT's 2020-2021 season possible. Click subscribe on our YouTube page to continue to see videos from San Juan Community Theater. Like all arts organizations, SJCT needs your help during this incredibly difficult season. To support SJCT or learn more, please visit sjctheater.org/support.